What's the matter, Tyler? No witty opening? No jokes? Then I'll provide the narration. Hello and welcome to the Tyler G Show. I'm your host, Tyler G of Batman Figs on Instagram. And after a week, it's good to be back. And I can't keep this voice up because my throat's hurting, but anyway, it's good to be back. We have a lot of news to cover, especially in the form of Batman media, a lot of movie news. I don't know if you ever heard of Michael Keaton. You may have, but there's a lot of stuff going on with him. We'll get to that in a little bit. But first and foremost, up front, we always like to thank our sponsors, the people that make this show possible, that allow for us to test out new products, see new things. So speaking of new products and new things, last week we talked about Diorama Prints, an up-and-coming new diorama company that, they print off these great little dial pieces that you could yourself add to a foam board to the like. So here's one side of what is called the Vegas hotel room. Has a little floor with it. Boom, instant diorama right there. So these things are amazing. I am going to be, there's different sets. This is the Vegas room. There's a asylum, which is all bloodied up. It looks like a padded cell. And I have that stored away, but you can definitely see pictures on my Instagram with a link in the description. All these sponsors, by the way, are going to have the link in the description, so you can check them out. Diorama Prints, they're officially live. You can go buy them now. Before I was just giving you a little foretaste of what was coming from them, and they sent out some more stuff, so we're going to get to see the other two products that are from their first wave of dioramas. So look forward to that, and thank you to them. After that, we have Soap Studios. Soap Studios, they make, I think, the best soft goods figures. I'm not just saying that, but when Mezco was first coming out with all their stuff, a lot of their heroes in the 6-inch line, they all look puffy. And that was okay for the Dark Knight Returns Batman because that's how he looks in the comics. But every other figure they did just looked humongous, and they're just like super round and bally joints. But here's a Soap Studios Flash. You can see that this actually, matches the body type, and it's a soft goods figure, and it comes with tons of accessories. So there's a little reference to Soap Studios, but they're coming out with 2 new figures from the Dark Knight trilogy. They've done Bruce Wayne, you can see right there, and Liam has his head off, but he's the Society of Shadow, all black robe, and they're coming out with their first Batman figure, which is the Dark Knight version when he gets his suit upgraded, and it also comes with different, I think 2 or 3 different heads, and one of them is the white eyes they uses for the sonar at the end to locate the SWAT team and the doctors that are dressed as the thugs dressed as the doctors. And by using a UV pen or like a little black light and aimed at the eyes, they illuminate and look almost exactly like they do in the movie, which is amazing. And it's just like the little details like that they always put the love and care into. And their figures are like reasonably priced and not like Mezco's where they just keep upping them because they know people are going to buy them without even thinking. So go check out Soap Studios. Go pre-order their new figures. They also got a Catwoman coming out, the Anne Hathaway version, and she has different. Her goggles have parts that light up with the infrared, the LED or UV ray, the UV ray light. So check out that, and I think I'll be getting those pretty soon. So I'll be having a review on that as well as pictures, so you can check those out. After that, we have Xavi Uk. And they are basically a website that basically covers pop culture in general. They have shirts like what I'm wearing right now, Pulp Fiction, little Mia Wallace on the back. They have Star Wars stuff. They have Batman stuff. They have Marvel stuff. They have video games. They have rare Blu-ray steelbooks that are exclusive to their website alone. And by the way, they have a summer sale going on right now where there's extreme discounts, some stuff like 40-50% off. And if you use my code, Tyler20, you get an additional 20% off. My mic just slipped. Okay. But you get additional 20% off, and that is a heck of a deal. Especially summer's not gonna last forever. Winter's around the corner. And they got some pretty cool like NASA jackets available. And why not buy them now where you can get them extremely cheap when you don't need them and you're ready. You don't have to go to the store in the winter when it's cold. So, boom. I think you should check out Xavi. Use my code. They also have action figures, by the way. They have the Red Hood, DC Direct, Batman Adventures Continues. They have all of those up there as well. They have statues. Xavi is the place to be, okay? Skillshare. Talk about a place to be. If you want to be anywhere where you can learn anything, when it comes to knowledge, when it comes to photography, when it comes to lighting, when it comes to telling a story with just visuals, when it comes to yo-yo tricks, anything you want, you can just go on Skillshare, type it in, there's going to be a video on it. And if you use my link, which is below in the description box, you'll get 2 free months. However, it is like those things where if you don't remember to cancel, they're going to charge you. So just set a reminder, or if you don't, unless you want to keep it. So, Skillshare, 2 free months below. Big Bad Toy Store, I'd like to thank them because they always have been great to us. They always have the figures that you need when you want them. They occasionally send samples, which I greatly appreciate. Makes it a little easier to, like when a Mattel Multiverse was doing things and they had to build the figures, occasionally get a figure from them, and that would help build the figure without having to spend money. And then speaking of Big Bad Toy Store, we're going to be checking out their front page right now, which we do every week, to see what's new. Of course, I read it down too. I wrote it. But it's also cool to look at the visuals to see what's up to date right now. And the TMNT Wave 3, they got, looks like the animated show figures. Is this, let's see, is this NECA or Super? It's Super 7. And these actually look really good. And also, you don't have to go to 20 Targets and hope that you got come across them without the whole store being scalped. Which that sucks. Mafex. Mafex had a big week this week in DC and Marvel, okay? The Spider-Verse, which I actually love that movie. They showed their Gwen, which has multiple heads, and it almost doesn't even look like a toy because it looks exactly like the movie. You think it's just a 3D rendering. And they also have Spider-Ham, which she comes with. And then the big daddy of them all, in terms of Mafex that they showed this week, is the Hush, but Jim Lee version from the Hush comic book, where it also has the Jason Todd head and the little R on the under, or he has the H. Does it switch to R when he has the Robin head? Because I just saw R. Yeah, so they're gonna be able to change the torso from the H Hush to R Robin. Dang, that's sick. Yeah, dang, how much is this? Where's the 3? Oh, okay, so there's one head sculpt is Hush with his teeth showing, one's just relaxed, and one's Jason Todd. So we're learning this together. Now, it's $100. Dang. Collecting ain't easy. Collecting ain't easy. And then, let's see what we got. I'm just gonna look at my notes. Okay, Hiya Toys, okay. Nah, we'll wait for that because they gave me a press release, so I'll actually wait to read that off. Mafex Hush, you can pre-order that. Soap Studios. Okay, let's get to Hiya Toys, alright? Let me show you Hiya Toys. Now, these things are called Exquisite Minis, and it's a 1/18 scale. And here's a Joker. And I'll show you a comparison. How little. But these things have an extreme amount of detail and just as much articulation as a Mafex. And I'm dead serious, like this Joker, as you can see, has double knee. Double knee for a 3-inch figure. And I know it's like a lot reminiscent of the good old days with G.I. Joe and vintage series Star Wars. But I don't even know if they had double knee. Here's a Harley. She's got double knee. These are from the Injustice game. However, in terms of what the press release is on, it says Hiya Toys, Exquisite Minis, 1/18 scale figures from Alien vs. Predator movie. And I'm going to be leaving the link in below so you can check those out and look at them. The Exquisite Mini is a 1/18 scale figure and playset line launched in 2017 with the goal of being that to create a screen accurate figure with high detail and strong playability. Haya has over 60 released to date, and with this release, and there are tons of, man, I messed up that writing. I was copying it from the email, but also trying to summarize it. They released to date with more to come, and they hope to be the collector's choice in this scale for the future. Which, I don't know why they wouldn't be if you actually bought them and saw them. The price point is $20, but if you're a collector of 3 3/4 inch figures, you can't get better. So I think it's worth it. Plus they come with a ton of accessories, nice packaging. I wish I still had the packaging I could show you, but I don't. I'm not that kind of collector. Some would call that a hoarder. I'm not saying it. I do have some boxes. Also, there's one. They showed a lot of Star Wars vintage collection. Speaking of 3 3/4 inches, and also looks like some cool dials, and it looks like the cryogenic sleep, not cryogenic sleep, the carbonite thing that Han goes into. Looks like they got that whole setup. They got Revoltech. This is kind of funny, but also kind of weird. They released this wasp that's like highly articulated, and it looks really cool. Let's see how big it is. It's supposed to be on the giant hornet, the great hornet. Scientific name Vespa mandorina. Every part is articulated, from antenna to the stinger. It looks really cool, but I wouldn't pay $106 for an articulated bug. No, thank you. Oh well. I know some people get it, but 105 is pretty steep. That's like a Mezco. What am I gonna do with a bug? Put Ant-Man on it? That's about the only thing. Okay. So in terms of new toys for me, I'm just gonna wait till my birthday and see if my family pre-ordered or got me the Red Hood or Azrael or any of those DC Direct figures before I go and spend my own money. And I mean, at this point I'm just gonna wait because my birthday is July 5th. But if I go to the comic stores and I see them, it's gonna be hard for me not to get them. So I mean, I went to the comic stores this week, still nothing in terms of those. And I believe with the whole Corona and all that with them, I think it just slowed everything. Well, I don't think, I know it slowed everything down. So there's no timetable for when I'm gonna get those. Also, there's no timetable if I'm getting that SH Figure Arts Michael Keaton Batman. I know I pre-ordered it, but again, everything's up in the air with everything that's going on. Now, speaking of Michael Keaton, let's get into the media news. You may have heard that he's in talks. Some people are saying he's in talks. Some people are saying it's definitely confirmed and a done deal. But Michael Keaton is going to be back as Batman or Bruce Wayne, older Bruce Wayne. Who knows if they'll put him in the bat suit. Although I remember in interviews they said that he himself said that he could still fit into that suit without any alterations. Because he's the man, first of all, Batman. And he stays in shape, and he's just the same size. So, I mean, with a costume that only shows a little bit of your mouth, and with the technology of anti-aging that could take away some of those lip wrinkles, I don't think it could be far-fetched to see like him playing a little bit older Batman, but still able to do it, like Dark Knight Returns style. And I wouldn't be opposed to seeing it if done well. And this is the whole thing. And at first the reaction is to be ecstatic and be elated. However, I also was kind of was excited and stoked when I heard that, you know, the Danny Elfman team was going to be in the Justice League movie, and that was very anticlimactic. And it also was basically just like, let's just throw everything nostalgic in there to get these middle-aged man babies, I'm throwing myself in there, to go see this movie because we know it's a piece of trash. So I'm hoping that this isn't just a publicity stunt or just like a ploy to bring Michael Keaton out and just make him look like a goofball or make the movie garbage. Like, I really, knowing Michael Keaton, I don't think he would take it or do it, because we saw he walked away from Batman Forever. So, I mean, that was commendable, and I respect him for that because it wasn't what he wanted to see Batman become. So I trust his judgment, and I hope that WB and the executives don't mess with the movie after the fact and post and change things or make it goofy or have Josh Whedon come and make another garbage bin fire movie. So there's things that have been weighing in my mind, but I do think with Michael Keaton's track record and his love and respect for the character and how he's like everything he's done after Batman has been pretty good. Birdman, he was even the best part of the first Spider-Man movie, the first Disney one. That scene with him in the car when he's discovered that Peter is Spider-Man. That was like so much tension, and it was a great acted moment by him. So I enjoy him. I think that it will be good. And with him coming back, there's also been rumors that not only is he going to be in Flash, but it could also be like a backdoor thing where they try to usher in a Batman Beyond movie, which that would be sick. I mean, that's basically everyone around my age and that was around Batman Beyond first came out. We 100% want it, and everyone that loves Batman and Batman Beyond, of course, 100% wants it. And I'm sure that once the audience sees it and sees the potential for that kind of thing where Batman's a mentor to a younger Batman, I think, especially if you put in the Return of the Joker style thing, I think that could be amazing. I think the audience would eat that up. Of course, it has to be executed. That's the hard thing. This all sounds great in theory, and in your mind's eye, you could see exactly how you'd want it. But the fact of getting everything together and actually executing it, that's a whole different story. So, yeah, everything sounds great right now. But there's also another way that they could say that he could be a mentor is in having a Batgirl series, and I would love that too. I was gonna say why not do like a girl Batman Beyond, and that would just, I know that would piss off a lot of people, but I mean, just basically you'd be doing the Batman Beyond with a Batgirl, essentially, if you have Batman as a mentor and not being Batman. If he is Batman and he's doing like Dark Knight style, that would be sick. I'd take it, as long as Michael Keaton does it well, and he knows what he's doing. And then along with Batman Media and different Batmen, we heard about rumors for Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who played Thomas Wayne in Batman vs. Superman. And back then, we were getting rumors that, this could possibly, Flash is in Justice League, this could possibly be a Flashpoint movie in the future, and Jeffrey Dean Morgan would play Thomas and as Batman. But apparently, people are coming out and saying that's not true. But that, to me, I don't even buy it, because why would you even be talking to him to come back? What's the point if he's not going to be in a Flashpoint movie? And Thomas Wayne is most known from Flashpoint, so basically anytime you have him in a movie or you show him coming from a different, I don't even know how you would incorporate him without him being from Flashpoint. He's a Flashpoint Batman. So if you have him wear any kind of mask where he's playing Batman, that's basically a Flashpoint Batman if it's Thomas. So I think WB's just doing that to just taper the noise and make it not too predictable for people. But why would you even talk to him if you're not going to have him play Thomas Wayne? And then in terms of another DC media, the Justice League Snyder Cut, saw a little bit about on Twitter where the man that played Darkseid, I don't remember his name, apologies, but he said that he's probably watched the movie once or 50 times, and that he absolutely loves it. And I put a little meme that I found online in my story where it shows just the looming threat of Darkseid coming, and where it shows Wonder Woman fighting Doomsday, where she's like on the ground and she's like smiling or laughing about it because she likes the thrill of war, and it just doesn't seem like it's too much of a problem to her in Batman vs. Superman. And then it shows in Justice League where she's like smiling while fighting Steppenwolf, and then just looking at a portrait of Darkseid, she's like terrified in the new Snyder Justice League teaser. So that gets me pumped up, and yeah, HBO Max got my money already. Unless I get a free week subscription or trial, which I'm sure they'll do. But yeah, that's in terms of media all I got. Harley Quinn, another solid episode, and I think this week is the finale, so if you haven't, make sure you check those out, get all caught up. It's actually an enjoyable show. It's also one of the funnier shows I've seen in a while. It's a DC one, so DC can be funny without being lame like Marvel jokes. Oh, those just kill me. All right, so this week's wave review, due to at this point in time when we were coming to where we are with the wave, there was a little absence after Batgirl, and I believe after a little bit of an absence they started doing the expression pack. So we did the Joker and the Harley expression pack last week, and this week we're doing the Batman expression pack. So when you bought this, it was in a longer box, like the one that Man-Bat first came with, or like Clayface came with. Let me get a drink. So this Batman also, not only was this sought after when it first came out, a lot of people wanted it because of the expressions, especially with a toy photographer, but there is one big thing that really disappointed fans about this, but we'll get to it. But overall, this is what it looks like. This is what it came with. It's not like the recently released Motorcycle Batman where it has a ab crunch. This is essentially another re-release of the Batman, first Batman animated, and also the one from the 2-pack with Mask of the Phantasm. And this is his first expression he comes with. It's just very generic. It's Batman with his mouth closed. Then you get, including this head, 7 expressions in total. So we'll go from my least favorite to favorite. So the least favorite is this Bruce Wayne head unmasked, for multiple reasons. One, it doesn't look like animated Bruce Wayne. Let me see if I can focus. Come on. See, it doesn't even want to focus on this ugly mug. It doesn't look like really a lot like the animated Bruce Wayne. Just not a great depiction. And also when it sits on the head, it doesn't come all the way down like these other heads. The chin kind of blocks it, so it looks like he has a long neck. And every time I post a picture with this guy on the Batman, everyone just cracks on how his neck looks long. So do all this work to make a nice picture, and all you guys look at is the neck. No, I don't care. It is trash. Then we got the expression that came with the Mask of the Phantasm, which is just a grimace, mouth open kind of grimace. And then the very slight and extremely not that noticeable, even more of a grimace, where it's just a little angrier. Then after that, I really enjoy this one for just the ability to make it appear like there's a conversation going. It looks like he's talking. And then we'll do the battle damage with actual blood and cowl damage. Love this for fights. And my absolute favorite, because he actually uses this a lot, and it's the most memorable shot from Two-Face Part 1 when he sees Harvey. And it's the almost sad, surprised, like desperate pleading Batman with his mouth open. It's a very great expression. And those are just the heads. And by the way, I think when this first came out, it was $45. It's over $100 now easily. So, accessories. I'm not gonna show you hands because basic hands comes with everything. You get like a fist, one to hold, like the batarangs, and then a hand that does this so you can hold the other ones. Okay. So they don't call him Batman for nothing. So he gets a bat, and this is from the episode, and I'll be telling you the episodes these are from because they're all very specific. This is from Christmas with the Joker when he hits the little Joker planes while they're playing the Nutcracker from the Nutcracker Ballet. Batarang from almost every episode ever. Very standard, but also very famous for just this little silhouette. Okay.
gas mask, which is perfect for the COVID times. And he wears this quite often. He wears this in Nothing to Fear. Or is it Never Fear? It's the one where Scarecrow, it's basically any Scarecrow episode he wears it. And he wears it in Last Laugh against the Joker when he's trying to poison the city with laughing gas. He wears it a lot. Okay, then this visor, infrared visor, very tiny. I'm always scared I'm going to lose it because it's so tiny. And he wears this in the very first episode on Leather Wings. He does its infrared in the dark to try to see if he can find any fingerprints or hair or anything like that. Then we got this, which uses in quite a few episodes, but I'll say Moon of the Wolf to tranquilize, and what's that other one? Crap, it's one of my favorite ones. Oh, Tiger. He uses that. Anyone to subdue or tranquilize anyone, he's using it. Oh, he also uses it in Cat Scratch Fever to save and give an antidote to Catwoman. Here's a tracker. This is from Two-Face, where he shoots onto his car to track him where he's going, to Rupert Thorne's. And he has a knife, which he uses in Cat Scratch Fever. Cat in the Claw Part 2 to free himself from the ropes that him and Catwoman are in. Or he also uses it most any time to cut himself from a rope. Then a grapple gun, which is again in almost every episode. And he has one that's already in the hand, so you don't have to worry about fitting this into a hand. And this is basically for show. This grapple gun. And each grapple gun that came with each Bat family member was according to their size. So like Batgirl gets a little bit tinier one, and Robin's is a little bit smaller than Batman's. Tim's is extremely small. So that's we're not even done. He also had, this is the big dilemma. He comes with this cape, standard rubber. He comes with a cloth cape. He comes with a dynamic movement cape, which it does give the illusion of movement and just that flowy look. And he was supposed to come with a cape that looked like that. I'll spread out so you can do the Mask of the Phantasm poster with it. So that sucks. But what could have been? All the pictures we could have had if we had that spread out cape. Anyway, now since we're done with the figure review, we're not going to do a comic review or Batman The Adventures Continue. Not this week, because I figure just wait till we have a lot of content, because if I do it digitally, it's only half of the content. So we'll wait. Plus, I'm not even sure if it came out this week. That's how bad I am. I'd rather just wait for 2. Okay, so the episode review. I was gonna say episodic. The episode review this week is on His Silicone Soul, and it is a fantastic episode. Okay, so we open on thugs breaking into an old storage yard, and they're talking about how there's rumors about extremely advanced technology that was left over from a building explosion, which is from Heart of Steel, as we know. And right before they get to these crates and they're trying to break into them, we see Batman show up. He takes them down, lickety split. However, one remains hidden, one thug, and he has a gun, so he comes around the corner and he shoots 3 or 4 bullets, point blank in Batman's gut, and Batman seems and appears fine, and the guy is stunned. He's screaming, "You're not human, man! You're not human!" And then we cut to next, where we're at Wayne Manor. It's a stormy night, it's raining, and we see Batman coming into what looks like the main living area. It's all these ornamental books and all that. You know what I'm talking about, where the piano is. And that's it. You have to know the layout of Wayne Manor. And then we see Batman looking at himself in the mirror, wondering what's happening, why, he's still alive after being shot. And we're still wondering that as we're watching, because we're pretending this is the first time we're watching it. And then Alfred shows up and he kind of thinks that something's amiss, because Batman usually will come in the Batcave, so he thinks someone broke in. But he sees that it's Batman. He's like, "Oh, are you all right? You don't appear fine." And we see Batman, or the hard-act copy, like open up his cape and say, "What's wrong with me, Alfred?" And we see all this metal hardware, like Arnold when he gets messed up in Terminator. All the metal gears are showing in his stomach. And then after that, we cut to Batman talking to Jim Gordon, and we see the men that were at the beginning of the episode that the copy Batman took care of. They're tied up pretty high up on a building, and Gordon's looking up as his cops are getting them down, and Batman's like, "Oh, do you have a rough night or a long night?" And he's like, "Not too long enough, basically, to tie down one of your piñatas." And Batman doesn't say really anything, and then he sees one of the thugs like, "Keep that guy away from me, he's not human." And Batman's like, I wasn't here last night. I'm not the one that tied these guys up. Even though Gordon had a batarang, he's like, "Is this yours?" And he's like, "I mean, it would appear so, but I wasn't the one that tied these people up." So we cut back to Alfred, who's been confronted by the copy Batman. And he basically says, you're one of Carl Rossum's copies, aren't you?" He says out loud. And then he runs to the Batcave. He puts it on lockdown emergency mode. He puts on a gas mask. And he starts, man, I just got an idea for a picture with it. He puts on the gas mask, and we still see that it has no effect on the hard-act copy, and he basically knocks out Alfred. After that, Bruce basically, after finding a couple like chips, computer chips on one of the thugs, he figures that Carl Rossum may know something of what's going on, and he may have an idea because the chip would only be something that he would know, as that is his expertise. So he goes over there and Bruce Wayne's kind of oh yeah, he goes over to Carl Rossum's place to ask him and confront him about it. But we see Carl Rossum is very like somber, and he's a completely different guy from what we saw in Heart of Steel. He's actually gardening, and we don't see any technology around him. And he basically says he feels horrific for like all those years he was trying to basically play God, and he wants nothing to do with technology anymore. And so it couldn't have been him. He has no idea where that chip came from. So Batman leaves, and then we see the copy appear, and he wants answers too, because he's basically telling Carl, like, "Hey, help me." He thinks he's Bruce Wayne, 100%. He's saying, "Hey, someone took my brain and downloaded it into this computer body, and like I need help. I need you to put me into my body or put me into a different shell to get me into my regular body." And you can see Carl is like very confused and also kind of sad that he has to explain to this guy that he's the fake one, and that, you know, you may have memories, but it's just data input into you. And he said, for instance, can you remember your first kiss? Can you remember like what a really good steak tastes like? And what's your favorite song? And you see it's crushing as you see, and it's animation. So the fact that they can convey this as you see this duplicate who's like done so well that he thinks he's an actual human, like the gears in his head, the literal gears in his head are turning, and he just doesn't even know what to do. He didn't ask to be born. He didn't ask to be put into this thing. He didn't ask to be confused. So it's pretty crazy and pretty deep. And then you know, the hard act duplicate gets pissed because he wants answers, and he's basically at a loss, and so he basically puts Carl Rossum into glass, and it looks like a very threatening position. So Batman shows up, and he douses him with water, and it knocks him out for a little bit, but then he wakes up and he's able to escape. Next page. So we see that he's still badly wounded, but he finds a hard act input at an old facility. It looks like an old storage facility, a different one, and his internal system is like he basically feels like he's being led to this place. And while he's there, he finds a old like a hard act little almost like a USB that you could input, and it's the operating system, like an updated operating system. And then once he plugs it in, and what he does is he pulls back his Batman like flesh mask, and you see the exoskeleton, very Terminator like, and the sound design and and the sound design for the flesh as it pulls back is something that's stuck in my brain forever. It is so disgusting sounding, and you just don't expect it to when you're a kid. He just pulls it back, like, oh my gosh. So that stays with you. But he puts it in. He downloads a new operating system. He hears from the actual Hard Act voice that we heard in Heart of Steel, basically saying, you know, right before the building was destroyed, I was able to make one last copy. I made a Batman copy from what we downloaded on his computer, Rhonda Dwayne, I believe is her name. She was able to get, and they made one Batman duplicate. But because the building was being destroyed at the time, it wasn't able to fully finish or fully render, and so there's a little bit of him missing, which is the Hard Act evil part. So he fuses with the Batman copy, and so he's no longer this benevolent, exact Bruce Wayne copy who's just confused and looking for answers. He's actually now part Hard Act. And then we see Batman show up there from his detective work, and he's easily taken care of as the Hard Act copy just throws him out of like the top story of this building into a river, which for most people that would be death, because it's a stagnant river, so the surface tension would be like glass. Then we see Hard Act goes back to the cave, and Alfred, of course, naturally believing, because Batman takes care of everything, believes this to be the actual, real Batman. But that's not very long-lived, as he says, as he turns on the Bat computer and basically says he's going to destroy humans because, you know, they don't deserve to live. He wants to make a perfect world where there's no hunger, no threats, basically no will. So he starts the initial system of where it's counting down, and then Batman shows up around where it says like 4 minutes. I think it counts down from 5 minutes. But Batman appears, and we have a very cool fight between these Batman copies. And it's very cool because we get to see the expansion of the Batcave, or the whole expanse of it, as they fight in different parts. And it's also fun to see a Batman in his prime taking on a perfect copy of himself, and that one can't get one up on another. It's very interesting. So Batman has to use his brain, the one thing that the Hard Act copy does not have a complete copy of. And Batman, knowing how perfect Hard Act made this copy of himself, realizes that he can't take a life. In fact, as a callback, when the greenhouse was being destroyed from Batman and Hard Act copies fight at Carl Rossum's place, the Hard Act copy saved Rossum before he disappeared. So that part of it, Batman recalls that, and he basically allows himself to get thrown off of a cliff into the Batcave, I guess knowing that he could hang on to a pipe that was down there or save himself with his gadgets. And once he falls down, the Hard Act copy is like devastated, like, what have I done? I took a life. And because of that sends his whole wiring off kilter, because it's just something Batman would not do in this iteration of Batman. So he goes to the computer where the countdown's going off, where they're about to just shut down all systems, and where he's going to have control over all defense systems due to the satellites and due to the Bat computer's connections. He just shoves his arms in there and electrocutes himself, basically frying everything, including himself, and he ends up against the Batmobile in a twisted wreck and steel heap. Then we see Alfred go over to the cliff and look for his master, Bruce, and he sees Batman's alright. Batman gets back up to safety, and Alfred helping him walk. They walk over to the copy, and Bruce asks a very good question that, I mean, it's perfect for this episode, where he says, do you think it had a soul, Alfred? A soul of silicone, but a soul nonetheless? And it's a good question, because, I mean, do humans even have a grasp of what they're doing when they create something like that? is it technically living? Is it sentient? How would we know at what time it becomes sentient? So it's a cool episode. It touches on a lot of things. It reminds me a lot of Terminator, but it also with that little twist of memories and a robot wondering like if it's real, and the difference between what's just inputted data and what's actual a memory that they had. It reminds me a lot of a memory. Reminds me a lot of a memory. It reminds me of Measure of a Man from Star Trek Season 1, and that's a great episode and touches a lot on these sort of things. And should we be building these things? What happens if we build them, and if we build them, are we just going to use them basically for robotic slave labor? And is that correct? Is that moral? And so it's good question to ask. So I rate this episode a 9. I really enjoy it because it is an outstanding, well done episode with a new character that's just, Hardak wasn't in the comics, I don't believe. So they took and made their own creation and made a great episode based on different things of pop culture that's still relevant today, especially with people trying to create AI. And yeah, it's a great episode, so I give it a 9. Good writing all the way around. Things pay off that were set up in the beginning, where you see him save Rossum, so it pays off with not being able to take a life. It's a great episode. I know I said that. Okay, so final announcement. When it goes with the figure of the week. Figure of the week, Grey Ghost. And that is because I'm going to be hosting a live stream watch along, if you want to watch with me. Grey Ghost is tomorrow. That's going to be the BTS episode. So Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You could watch with me. We'll watch Grey Ghost. We'll watch Batman as a child watching Grey Ghost, which was his childhood hero, which is voiced by Adam West, who was actually a lot of other adults' childhood hero, because he was Batman. It's all very meta, if you follow along. But yeah, come. You could have a beer, bring your snacks. We'll virtually hang out. So it'll be a lot of fun. All right, now the next part of the show is going to be the fan art. I believe we got next week is where we draw the name of who wins a free print. So this will be a lot of fun, and I've really enjoyed seeing how creative everyone is. It's really cool. I think one of my favorite pieces was the Peanuts Charlie Brown Batman crossover. I really like that. All right, so let's get to the fan art. How to is already a separate video, so you can look at that on its own, and that is with Toy Snap Inc.'s diorama pieces. All right, now to the fan. Okay, time for fan art, and leading off, Winter Winds. Instead of I's, there are ones in there and a Z at the end. Riddle me this, and this is of course a classic Arkham Knight image from the game. This is really cool. Stencil Nation did this Batman. Any Batman fans out there? Who's your favorite DC superhero? He knows mine. And then we got a Heath Joker from Toys of Arkham. Don't look at that guy. Sergio the Collector with the Batman Who Laughs. Included looks like Deathstroke's pistol from DC Icons, and the Mattel Nightwing Batman cowl. Hopefully I got those right. This is pretty cool. This has been going on around online on Instagram. This is a Collectiverse collection. And this guy tagged me. It's Aldoje collection. I hope I'm saying it right. I'm sorry if I ain't. I'm not. This is Toys of Arkham. Optimus Prime. Toys of Arkham with the Flashpoint news. And Michael Keaton from Returns. I thought this was funny. Apparently it wasn't too funny, based on the 50 likes. Then we got another great classic shot from the all-time legendary The Dark Knight, where he's about to do interrogation. I wonder if he starts with the head, folks. Then we have a comic image of the finale where there's the bat in the belfry. And Batman's having to fight all these Joker thugs. Really cool cover. Batman fighting a mountain lion. Which is funny because in California there's been bears and mountain lions randomly going in people in Southern California's actual like backyard. So perfectly timed. Luis Armand Padilla with the Mezco BVS. Really like the moody shot. Black and white. Ooh, Samurai-san Collection Aves. I hope I said that right. Collection Aves. I don't know. But this is the statue from the Dark Knight trilogy. When Commissioner Gordon's reading the quote from the Tale of Two Cities. Really nice. Ooh, minimalistic. I dig it. K. Bodie 64. Brian Volk Weiss. This is the creator of Toys That Made Us and the Movies That Made Us, or you could find them on Netflix. He tagged me in this, and let's read the story. In honor of June 23rd, the 31st anniversary of 89 Batman film, check it out. This is what's called a 3-up, a statue that's 3 times bigger than the final product, made by Erdl, which was not approved by Jack Nicholson, so they went with a generic version of the Joker. A little piece of Bat history here. Thanks Sean for the hookup. Well, we always welcome Bat history here. This is where we're starting to get into a lot of the Keaton fan art because people were stoked about the news. Math So Love. Thank you for this tag. Very cool. It's almost like a caricature. Tim _ the comic collector with the McFarlane DC Multiverse Nightwing, which is one of my favorites. Leno B Comics. Lenu B Comics. This is awesome. Keaton Batman Beyond style with Ace. And of course, Terry. Back it up, Terry. Duffer's Toy Empire Batman 1989. It looks like a screen grab. Or a screen that he just put the figure in front of. And this is the course. The NECA Batman 89. I think. It could be let me look. I don't want it to be a hot toy. Is it a hot toy? No, it looks like the NECA. The cape is screaming NECA to me. Alright. Someone enjoying the Batman Adventures Continue Comics Locos. Here we have Black Comic Nerd with his collection versus collector. He always has really cool pictures. And he's also in the medical field, so he's out there saving lives and taking care of people. He's a really good human being. Go give him a follow. Then we got DC Crown King _1234. Batman the Smile Killer. I'm interested in this now. I really like this cover and I haven't heard about it. Might have to read it. Oh, did you hear the news? Thanks, Rex.Yan. This is cool. I really like the sword. Just makes it look epic. This is Flash Disc 2GB. It's a bat. This is awesome because I have these figures and I love them. Ariel Wayne 82. He's showing us the blue Batman, but it's black and white, so you can't really tell. But that is the crap. I'm blanking on the name of the designer of who designed the purple Catwoman. It's Ballant, yeah. I can't remember the first name. But anyway, these are the DC Essential figures, and it's a great picture. Never heard of the anime. No, that's a good figure. I have it. Daily _ Batman _ with the sketch of comic Batman. Looks almost like a Rebirth or New 52. Really like this. Edgar Diorama always does good work. Dairy Queen, like the Retro Fly Bros. Oh, that's my meme. Rex.Yan. Cool comparison shot between live action video game with Affleck and Kevin Conroy. I'm underscore toy dude with the Mezco. I really like it. Oh, let's take a look at the Soaps video. This is from Soap. So we're playing it. This is the new UV effect, the new Soap Studio Dark Knight. So there's the Batman figure, their first Batman figure, and look at, they're going hard. There's Catwoman, Selena Kyle. Sorry for you listeners. You can check it out though on my page. And then not only that, but it also shows his little light gun that he uses in the movie before the rookie cop shoots it. So I'm really looking forward to those. Then we got blank underscore lens with the red hood, Jason Todd, DC Essential. This is a cool split little artwork. Batman, Batman Who Laughs. Man, the Huntress. We need more Huntress. These are pretty cool. Dang, Poison Ivy looking evil, growing those horn vines. Really cool shot. I like that, especially the little touch of Joker on screen. And that is by Batman underscore figures 412. The good underscore bat underscore man with the statue, Laugh Co. This actually looks really cool. Look at the detail of the shoe coming off. That's awesome. Oh, someone's playing rap outside my house. Deceased, dead planet. Hopefully I don't get a copyright because of the person playing the music. Jonathan Lobo Frederick. This is cool. Probably gonna have to do something similar to this, as I like it. Thank you, Jonathan Lobo Frederick. The Gotham Vault Flashpoint Batman. He's getting popular these days. Another collection, or collectorverse collection. Awesome. Dang, you got the Jordan 6s. Are those the hairs? Those are hairs. Lucky and jealous. He does great shots. Good job. I'm underscore toy dude. See how much we got left, because I don't want to just show too much and go back in time. Oh, we only got a little bit more. Ivan.Hornig.photography. This is awesome. Thank you. Ooh. Julie Newmar. Shasher. Here we got NBC Haven. Oh, I think that's where we left off. Yep. We're back to last week, alright? So that is, and that's what we covered last week. That is this week's fan art. And next week we're going to be doing the draw to get a free print. So, thank you guys for those that participated. And we're going to do this every month. So, if you want to be in the next drawing for next month, for July, keep tagging me. Alright, see you next episode.